Are there things in your life that need to be left unsaid? Are there things in your life that you need to realize you might just need to be quiet? And this goes for me. There are a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't say. Welcome back to the Detox Podcast, where we explore the power of positivity and personal growth. I am your amazing host, Joshua Hobbs, and I couldn't be more excited to have you here for another inspiring episode. If this is your first time listening, I am so grateful that you are taking the time out of your day to spend a few minutes with me. You are here for a reason. And as you listen to this, you will understand why God placed you right here with me. Please remember that you can tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and right here on YouTube to the Detox Podcast. This is episode number 27, and it's titled Things Left Unsaid. As you listen to this episode, I want you to be thinking of this question. Are you building or are you tearing down your peace within? Let's get started with a scripture, Proverbs 10:19. When words are many, transgressions is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. This verse is warning us of thoughtful speech and the potential consequences of careless or excessive words. You know, the other day I hopped on Facebook and I opened up the app, and the first thing I saw was someone airing out a complaint. The post started off by saying, I just had to share my thoughts on this situation, and it went into this long explanation of their feelings. But you know what I did? I closed out of the app and I chose not to finish reading the post because I didn't want to have that negativity in my head. These type of posts are common on social media. But when you tune in, you start to realize the magnitude of people actually complaining and speaking negativity and negative things all around you. See, you know, social media has turned into a modern day news outlet that thrives on negativity. That's what prompted this episode. I always ask God, what topics should I choose? And this was very important for me to share. Now, I want you to go back to the question that I asked. Are you building or tearing down your peace within? You see, we have ample opportunities to sit around and complain day in and day out. And not just complain in our head, but we have outlets that we can complain. Social media, to our friends, to our family. And what that does is create so much negative energy, negativity into this world. Are you creating your peace within? Are you building or are you tearing down your peace? Now, I want to build the peace within, meaning I'm allowing things to let go. I go through things just like everybody else. Every single day, there's a situation. Every single day, it seems like here in Arizona, somebody wants to cut you off and jump right in front of you or stomp on the brakes right in front of you. You can either complain or you can allow that to let it go because that disturbs your peace. I recently was traveling with my 10-year-old son. We got off the flight and we walked down to the rental car place and there's a line. And I'm not talking 10 people. I'm talking 50, 60, 100 people deep. And it ended up being a 2-hour wait. Now, there were tons of people complaining and calling, trying to change. And there was this one individual who turned around, and he was a little bit elderly, and he kept on trying to bait me to get into complaining with him. And the first time he did it, I said, yeah, man, you know, it's good for us in this world to have some patience. He was like, yeah, I understand patience, but you know, I got to be somewhere. I said, hey, man, we all got to be somewhere. We're not just hanging around. Like, we all have somewhere that we need to go. And he turns back around. He's on the phone for a little bit. And about an hour in, he turns back around again. Man, if we would have had this, and if they would have prepared for this, they know that this is 4th of July weekend and they understand. I said, hey, if things were like I thought they would be in my life, I would have flown first class. I would have flown private. I would have had a car waiting for me and not renting a car. I mean, if things were how they were supposed to be, how I expected them to be. And he looked at me, he was like, man, yeah, you are right. I said, look, man, we can either get angry and we can complain and complain and complain, which the line isn't going to go any faster the more you complain. I said, or we can look at this and live right now in this present moment. You know that this 2 hours in the right now, having a positive conversation. And he said, you know what, man, you're right. And he gave me a fist bump and he showed me a scripture that his mother had sent him earlier. And he said, man, you reminded me of the scripture. And he said, you got the right mindset. And I appreciated that. And we began to talk, and it was a positive conversation. And next thing you know, we were right there, and it was our time. And he was before me, and I said, look at this, man. I said, what did I tell you? He said, yeah, man, you were right. But I say all of that to say, when we complain, it allows the devil to create strongholds in our hearts and in our minds for sin. Be careful what you say. Be careful at how much you complain. Take a second, step back from the situation and try to live right now, regardless of what the situation may be. Try to live in the most positive state that you can live in. Are there things in your life that need to be left unsaid? Are there things in your life that you need to realize you might just need to be quiet? And this goes for me. There are a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't say them. I understand that life throws curveballs, and it might feel great to get these things off of your chest. Let me remind you that the real power comes when you are able to restrain and refrain from having those loose lips. When we leave things unsaid, as far as complaints, we start the process of letting go of that ego. Ask yourself, are you creating peace within, or are you creating conflict within? Thank you so much for joining me today on the Detox Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more life-changing words of wisdom and love. Remember, you have the power to shape your thoughts and create a life filled with positivity and abundance. Until next time, stay resilient, stay optimistic, and stay tuned for another uplifting episode of the Detox Podcast.